good afternoon to you. It is my hope that your day is coming along well. This is TV 47 news feed that you're watching from County 001 at our Mombasa studios. As always, this is the home of untold stories, and I am Mariam Mwacharo. It's now time to give you the day's updates from across all 47 counties and the globe, including sports. Welcome. Now we begin with Hannah Asianzale Mudavadi, mother to Amani National Congress Party leader Musalia Mudavadi, is dead. The news of her demise was announced by her son Musalia Mudavadi earlier today through his Twitter account. In his message, Musalia revealed that his late mother passed away this morning while undergoing treatment at Nairobi Hospital at the age of 92. While condoling the Mudavadi family, President Kenyatta has described the late Hannah Mudavadi as a devoted, generous and humble matriarch who raised a close-knit family and contributed immensely to the progress of her community. Deputy President William Ruto also hailed Mama Hannah as a devotedly religious, respected and responsible woman who raised upright, hardworking and diligent children. Others eulogized the late Ford Kenya Party leader Moses Wetangula, who described Mama Hannah as the strength and pillar of the Mudavadi family for many years. Elsewhere, leaders from Kiambu County have called on the Parliamentary Committee on Education to ensure they have inspected all schools for COVID-19 protocols adherence ahead of the school reopening in January. The leaders, led by Kiambu MP Jude Jomo, said the budget set aside for schools reopening is not enough. The leaders are asking for the committee to authorize counties to use CDF funds for proper preparations.
The government have set aside some funds which are supposed to go into these kind of activities. We have not received the funds as yet in our primary schools. But we did this. We talked to our friends because we want to be ready. We don't want our children to come to school, then we don't have washing stations. We are not ready for them. We want to get prepared. But we are still expecting the funds from the government. We are expecting them to come to schools so that they can supplement what we have already done. If for any remote chance that we don't receive that money, then we shall question this in Parliament. We shall need all the money that has been disbursed by the Treasury to reach primary schools or to get a good explanation on what could be going on.
Even if it means we put a section or part of CDF money specifically to fight COVID. The issues we're talking about, this can be a very big issue if it's not taken care of. So I'm requesting the executive to ensure that we get serious with this COVID issue, because the money that has come down, it is not felt. Even the issue of desks, nothing has been received in the schools. So what I would say, and what my call is, that let us get serious to get money down to the schools where it is needed.
The measures that we take, I understand that most of the schools don't have extra classrooms because we have not had the funds to build the extra classrooms. Most of the schools don't have the washing bays. Most of the schools don't have the masks to give to the students, while parents are demanding for all that. So I think it is a joint effort from the leaders to the parents. The parents should try and facilitate the students to get more masks. The schools should try and make sure that the washing bays are also available. But I think, as we have stayed for a whole year, it is more detrimental when our students continue staying at home. I think it is a high time we bring them back to school, then we can learn how to live with COVID.
Moving on, West Pokot woman representative Lillian Tomtom has called on the area leaders to unite for the sake of development. According to Tomtom, the area leaders have on various occasions been divided politically, resulting in the area lagging behind economically.
Wenzangu ambao hawafurahii umoja ya viongozi ya kwamba hakuna jambo muhimu kama viongozi kufanya kazi kwa pamoja. Na nataka niwapongeze wenzangu ambao wamekubali kufanya kazi pamoja, ya kwamba tushikane mikono, na mimi kama mama wa kaunti ninafurahia sana. Kwa sababu hii mambo ya kufanya kazi pamoja ama umoja ya viongozi inaleta nguvu, inaleta maendeleo, inaleta umoja, inaleta upendo na inasukuma kaunti mbele.
Now remember, you're watching this bulletin from County 001. Should you please to send us an SMS, our SMS line is 22047. Or you can also chat with us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter is at TV47 Kenya. Now, at the very beginning of the COVID-19 outbreak in Kenya, the government implemented a series of multifaceted public health interventions and enforced them strictly throughout the country. These measures caused a limitation in people's seeking medical services and provision of healthcare services in hospitals, including the patients or TB patients. Although the measures reduced the transmission of TB occurring outside the household, patients in Mombasa County have faced the hurdles in access to TB treatment with the effect of COVID-19 on their financial stability.
Watu nikikoa nilikuwa nakunywa dawa, sikuwa najua nanunua nini. Ikabidi tarehe 1 mwezi wa 5 niliamka saa 11 nikakoa ikatoka damu.
TB patients in Mombasa County have not had it any easy since COVID-19 fast-tracked the country in March. Accessing medical care for them has been a tall order. 2 TB patients, Ronald Peter Munyoki, a fruit vendor at Kongoya Market, and Millicent Ann, a saloonist, say the advent of COVID-19 soared stigma levels and access to medication became an arduous undertaking.
Yani ni changamoto nyingi sana nimepitia tangu kabla sijajua kuwa niko na ugonjwa wa TB. Nilianza kupitia mengi. Yani nilianza na kukohoa. Nilivyokuwa na kohoa nikazunguka kwa hospitali. Nazunguka kwa hospitali nikitafuta matibabu nijue kisa na maana ni nini kinanifanya na kuhoa.
They say it was a difficult lesson that challenged them.
Hata kitu ya kula yenyewe hauna ndani ya nyumba. Unashindwa utakula ama utaenda kwa matibabu na huku una mtoto.
Norman Otieno, Mombasa County TB Management Advocacy Champion, says they have been missing out on their targets since the outbreak of COVID-19. This is because many patients have been shying away from accessing healthcare facilities. According to the latest report at Junda Dispensary, there are only 29 TB patients against a target of between 50 to 100 patients.
Kuna watu wengi hawawezi kufika kwa mahospitali kufanyiwa uchunguzi kwa sababu wanajua kwamba akifika kule atapimwa COVID kwanza. Huu mwezi tuko na wagonjwa 29 katika register yetu ambao sio kawaida.
Linus Tanui, the medical officer in charge of TB and leprosy in Kwale County, says during the period the number of drug defaulters increased, forcing healthcare workers to come up with ways that will encourage patients accessing drugs.
Tulipata watoro wale wenye walikuwa wachukui dawa waliongezeka, yani defaulters. Ikabidi tukawa kama mgonjwa anaanza dawa, instead ya kupatia wiki moja tunawapatia wiki 2 ndio asiwe anaogopa kuja hospitalini.
TB, like COVID-19, is an airborne transmitted infectious disease which experts say there is need to understand the symptoms to avoid unnecessary stigmatization, while experts on COVID-19 infection in TB patients remain limited.
We also did a COVID-19 study, the impact of COVID-19 on TB programming here in Kenya between March and July, and where we found out that 80% of the patients were not able to access health services during the COVID-19 because of lockdown. 50% of the respondents also said that due to the lockdown, they were not able to get transport.
The stigmatization of TB patients in accessing services proved to be a big challenge, as well as relocation of health workers to COVID-19 centers also attributed to decline in access to services. Joanne Maina, TV47.
Now, news that's coming to our desk right now is that the Kenya Primary School Head Teachers Association, KEPSHA, has pledged its support for the reopening of schools on 4th of January next year. However, provision of masks, desks, and water for washing hands for pupils still remains a major concern. Now, let's cross over and listen on that story.
Chairman Doro represented Nyanza and was not done replacement after retirement. Secretary Mr. David Mavuta was from Eastern and was replaced by Mr. Humphrey Mogoff from the same region. Treasurer Mr. Josephat Otiede was from Western and was replaced after retire by Mr. Billy Aswani from the same region. For the organizing secretary, Mr. Muariko, who also retired, was replaced by Mr. Fuad from the same region, that is Coast. Note well, Nyanza needs representation in the steering committee. Written by Mr. Oduyu O. Kareb, Regional Chairman, KEPSHA, Nyanza. I thought of bringing this letter to you because there is the mandate of the number of people in the steering committee. And their jobs or work is clearly described. But as per this argument, I am bringing it now to you as delegates to guide us, because the delegates conference is the strongest body above the governing council and above any other council, because as their resolution, that is what will take us ahead come next year. I would like maybe reaction from you people, 2-3 people, and then we see the way forward. Within a very short time. Reactions, either from within or from delegates. I can see Aswani with his hand up. Yes.
Chairman, I want to say that...
Come and speak from the podium so that you can be heard by everybody.
Yes, my name is Billy Aswani. I come from Western. And what I wanted to say is that KEPSHA as an association is supposed to bind us together. And if one region is feeling like it's left out, then I don't think we are doing what we're supposed to do. We are aware that Madame Phoebe comes from Nyanza, but I think she was incorporated into this steering committee to represent gender, now that we looked like we were not meeting that constitutional threshold. And therefore, my proposal would be that if we included the regional chair, Nyanza, it would be good for our association. Therefore, I want to propose that the regional chair, Nyanza, is included in this steering committee, if all members can agree to that. Thank you.
That is.
Well, that story brings us to a short break here, but do not go too far. We'll be back with more news. Remember, we'll be taking your comments right just before we leave this bulletin on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is at TV47 Kenya. Do not
ebindaya tanu, ebindaya moyo, ebindaya time, ebindaya nguma, kwata kawaya, kwate vyo. Hey, what's up? My name is Movie, and thank you. For the last 3 months, we've been watching Coffee with Movie. Nasema ni asante, nashukuru. Thank you for the suggestions, for the opinions, for the suggestions of who you want us to have, and the better ideas of how we can modify this show to suit you as best as possible. Nataka niwawish Merry Christmas, Happy Brand New Year 2021. Au sio? It will be bigger, greater, fuller, excellenter. Au sio? I wish you a Merry Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New 2021, yo.
We let you take us through your journey.
The report of the scan came out. The doctor told us that the scan is showing my baby had already passed on.
I don't like people standing too close to me. I don't like people standing behind me.
And give hope after beating all odds.
We don't choose how we are born. We don't choose how we are raised. The choices we have in this life are virtually limited.
Only on Confessions with Maria every Saturday at 8 p.m.
Sunday, yes. Sunday, mwam. Mutumishi hapa, hapa.
This is TV47. Happy holidays.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. Now, a section of children's homes in Kisii County are in dire need of assistance after losing donors due to the effects of COVID-19. The donors and well-wishers were either restricted by the strict coronavirus protocols or died from the pandemic, according to managers of Keumbu Holiness Children's Home. The managers expressed fear the children might not join others when schools reopen on January 4th, 2021. The home's managers are now appealing for the help from well-wishers to help them to take care and feed the children. Former Kisii Mayor Samuel Nyangeso, who visited the homes with foodstuff, petitioned the government to give priority to the children by procuring and administering the COVID-19 vaccine free of charge.
Soda moja ndanga abana baito baraiga na matukonsi bugima bwane igo nanyo atari bakitara moja think masentara moja kwanta nilimtoje tikiagara na
anasema anataka kuambia wa kweli marafiki kama hakuna Kenya, hata hao watoto wanakula kutoka kwa friend. Sana siku ilikuwa siku ya Christmas kila wakati, saa zingine kutoka Kisii hapa kwa Ongwae, tuseme ofisi kwa Ongwae walikuwa wanamuita na wampatia chakula kidogo, lakini kwa vile corona ilikuja iliharibu kila kitu, ndio maana sasa hata watoto walikuwa na mawazo watakula nini.
Wakati wa corona tunapitia changamoto nyingi. Maana yake ni nini? Wageni ambao walikuwa wanatembea wakati ule mwingine hawakuji. Homes nyingi hatupati wageni wakitutembelea kama hapa ili kuleta ule msaada wa kawaida. Marafiki wengine hata walikuwa wana support, wengine hata walikufa na corona. So tuna mahitaji mengi ambao tungehitaji wenye hisani na moyo safi waweze kusaidia watoto hawa.
Wa jamii hapa Kisii, viongozi wa Kenya wote, ikiwa huko katika kiwango gani, iwe kiwango gani huko, kama wewe ni mkubwa wa aina gani, ufikirie na uangalie hata mahali umetoka, ufikirie mambo ya watoto mayatima. Sio lazima ubebe vitu vingi kuja pale. Ukiwa na shilingi zake 2,000 lete katika nyumba hii.
Well, Kenyans are known, of course, for their good spirit and goodwill at helping, and we do hope that Kenyans will come together and help those children. Now, as many Kenyans ponder about the many atrocities the COVID-19 pandemic has thrown at them, a clergy in Uasin Gishu has chosen to look on the brighter side. Bishop Zablon Malema has used the period to constructively write an inspirational book that seeks to motivate the downtrodden. Calvin Chitwa reports.
At a tender age of 9 months, he lost his mother, and 10 years later, his father died, ushering him into a life of orphanage. He heavily depended on relatives and well-wishers to navigate through the challenges that most orphans go through.
I grew up as an orphan boy. Yeah, I was orphaned at a tender age. I'm told my mother passed on when I was 9 months old. Then my daddy passed on when I was 10 years old.
What the young Malema did not know was that the experience was preparing him for a bigger role in life.
There are people who did something in my life for me to be where I am now.
Many generations. A life that will inspire the downtrodden in the society.
We give a chance to generations to come, because otherwise this great revelation or experience would go to waste if it's not documented. That's what inspired me to actually sit down and do this piece of work.
His second book, titled 7 Steps to Effective Living, is aimed at helping people and generations to come appreciate the importance of documenting experiences and giving hope.
COVID-19 period, there are those people who have used it prudently. And I want to proudly say, I may be among those people who have used it prudently, because during this time, I sat down and wrote this work. This work, I did it during this COVID-19 period. I sat down for months. Of course, I had scripts.
He equates life to the journey of the children of Israel in the Bible.
When you come out of Egypt, it's like you have now come out of bondage, you are coming out of sin. You've been liberated. That's a very strong point that we are catching or handling in this book.
He says challenges are normal in life, and what matters is how to utilize the opportunities that life presents along the way.
This has been a hard moment, a hard time, but I want to say this, that God is faithful. God has kept us alive. Our scientists have come up with vaccine. We thank God for that.
The bishop urges those with abilities, opportunities, and other resources, especially during hard times like the coronavirus pandemic, to be a blessing to the needy and